So we're looking at the backstory leading up to the 7 last plagues, which is the go-to passage by Christians in general to say that God's slamming people with the 7 last plagues. We're starting to see a different story emerge. There is one difficult phrase here that people use to apply to hell, but we've already seen this whole warning is about what happens to those who get the name of the beast and worship the beast, and they will get the wrath of God, which is the 7 last plagues during the 7 last plagues, which is during human history, not in the lake of fire or in hell. It's what's going to happen now before Jesus returns. There is one last difficult phrase that we need to deal with, and it's not difficult. Revelation 14:11. Those who get the name of the beast and worship him. And the smoke of their torment. Now, we know who's inflicting the torment, yeah? It's the evil powers, not God. They're being warned. God is warning them what the devil is going to do to them, not what he's going to do to them. During the mark of the beast crisis, during the 7 last plagues. He's going to be dumping on them, not God. And the smoke of their torment, that's coming from the devil, the smoke, goes up forever and ever. And they have no rest day or night, these worshippers of the beast. Number one, this is what happens only during the 7 last plagues. We've seen this. During that point in time, the devil is going to be tormenting them. And during the 7 last plagues, they will have no rest day or night. People say, Pasanto, it says here, they're going to be tormented forever and ever. How can that last only during the 7 last plagues? It doesn't say that. It didn't say they're going to be tormented forever and ever. Not at all. Look at the English again very carefully. It doesn't say they will be tormented, when that's by the devil, so it's not God. What gets tormented forever and ever? Look. And the smoke of their torment goes up forever and ever. It doesn't say they will be tormented forever and ever. It says the smoke of the torment will go up forever and ever. Oh, Santa, you're playing with words. The smoke of the torments, they're being tormented. Oh, no. The same phrase is used with a huge caveat in conjunction with the devil at the time of the final battle. Look what it says about the devil. Revelation 20:7-11, the final battle. Look at this. And when the 1,000 years are ended, Satan will be released from his prison, and he will come out to deceive the nations, the lost, who are at the 4 corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them for battle. There it is again, for battle. Their number is like the sand of the sea, of the lost. The final battle. He goes out to deceive them. And what do the nations do in this final battle? This is Armageddon. And they marched up over the broad plain of the earth, and they surrounded the camp of the saints and the beloved city. But fire came down from heaven and consumed them as they tried to attack the witnessing church. Fire came down from heaven and consumed them, and the devil who had deceived them, listen, was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur where the beast and the false prophet were, and they, the dragon, the beast and the false prophet, they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. They will be tormented day and night forever and ever. It doesn't say the smoke of their torment rises up forever and ever. It says they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. But with regards to human beings, it says the smoke of their torment goes up forever and ever. John has deliberately made a distinction here with the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. The counterfeit trinity, supernatural spiritual powers that are ruining planet Earth, blaspheming the name of God in this battle, they will be tormented day and night forever and ever. But the ones they deceived, the smoke of their torment goes up forever and ever. John has deliberately made a distinction in the language because he's meaning two completely different things. There will be two completely different destinies. So what does he mean by the smoke of their torment rising up forever and ever? And that's in distinction to they will be tormented. Smoke of their torment, they will be tormented. This is a deliberate change by John. The smoke of the torment. What does that mean? I'll show you now. The smoke is a memory of something that once was and is over. When the Royal National Park in Sydney burnt down back in the late 80s, I lived there. It's the second park in the world that was called a national park, and it was in Sydney, in southern Sydney. Once the whole beautiful national park was burnt down, and it wasn't burning anymore. You know what we saw after the burning was over? The smoke of the burning rose for weeks after. And every time I looked at that smoke, it was a memory. The rising smoke was a memory of the torment that once was. And so I was saying to her, that's a nice little anecdote, but does the Bible say that? Well, actually it does. It says exactly that thing, that rising smoke refers to something that once was, but it's not burning anymore. Well, where do you get that from? John is referencing the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I can show that in a completely different way, that story, but that's not the purpose of this series. He's drawing on the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember, God called up Abraham, I'm going to go. They're going to be nuked. And he said, but what if there's 50 righteous? What if there's 45? Okay, I won't do it. I won't do it. Well, what if there's only 5 or 10 righteous? Okay, I won't do it. But it was gone. Fire came down out of heaven. And I can show you another interpretation of who actually brought the fire down. Another time, maybe. But fire came down out of heaven and burned it up. Burnt it up, gone. It didn't burn forever and ever. But then Abraham returns back to the scene. After the fire has done its job, whoosh, gone. And what did he see? Genesis 19:28. And Abraham looked, and behold, the smoke of the land went up like the smoke of a furnace. But it wasn't burning anymore. What? Yes. The fire was gone. Peter says in 2 Peter that it turned to ashes. Sodom turned to ashes. But the smoke rose. And when he had a look at the rising smoke, it was a memory of what once was. Rising smoke is a symbol of something that happened in the past, and it's a memory. God is warning those who get the name of the beast and worship him that the devil is going to hammer you during the wrath of God, which is God pulling back, when Satan pours out and smashes you with the 7 last plagues. And that experience, that tribulation that you will go through will be so terrible. The torments, the fire smoke, the sulfur, that torment will be so bad that the smoke of what you went through will rise forever and ever. You will never forget what the devil did to you. The smoke of your torment will rise forever and ever. It doesn't say that you're going to be tormented forever and ever. That's reserved for the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. But for you, the smoke of that event will rise, which means that event comes to an end and it will just become a memory of what they went through under the hands of the devil and the beast. Let's move on.